I started off with just doing like small things. So I guess at first helping out just like wherever I could. I would sing for praise team. I also help out in the sound room quite often. And then I also would help with like the VBS that I mentioned, or sometimes even like after church, parents would just ask me to watch their kids at the playground, or just little things like that. And I guess just making sure that I am the best person that I can be, I guess, and people take notice of that.
Yeah.
And over time, people just began to trust me more. And then I was able to like even lead youth group trips and things like that.
Today we're gonna meet Grace, a young lady that decided to serve God in ministry no matter the difficulties that she would face. I am very excited about this conversation. I know you will be too. So welcome to Tea Talks. Grace, I am so excited that you're here and I have this opportunity to meet you and to just spend some time with you, getting to know who you are. So thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with your story. Why don't you tell us a little bit of who you are, your background, your family?
Both of my parents are Kenyan, and I grew up in North Carolina all my life, born and raised. I started out my schooling going to Christian schools, but then after third grade, I went to public school. Personally, I had a pretty good experience, I'd say, but I also know that's not the case for everybody.
Sure.
And in general, I'm like a STEM person, and I also love my friends, and I love having fun.
So you were pretty much raised in a Christian community, in a Christian household. And how was that for you?
I really liked it because I think we were raised with pretty good morals, and it made sure that we always treated each other with respect, and we were kind to each other, and we would help each other out whenever we could.
Is there like a person that influenced you the most to be who you are today?
Yes, I had a really, really good friend. We're still friends today. She was my best friend for a long time, and she was kind of my role model. She was only a year or two older than me, but I guess people would say that she was like the perfect kid. She was always getting good grades. She was always being kind. She was always helping around, and she's also Kenyan as well.
Yeah.
But we just had so much in common, and I strive to be like her because she was what I imagined like a perfect character to be like.
That's nice to have somebody like that. So you're pretty much very involved in church. Do you help with any ministry or anything like that?
Yeah, so I sing on praise team once a month. And in terms of ministry, I help out with the Pathfinder Club. We actually do like a lot of camping and a lot of just honors and helping out in the community and things like that. So it's definitely something that I enjoy being involved with. And I also help out sometimes with the like VBS that our churches have. And yeah.
Do you feel like being able to help, like to lead in these different ministries? Pathfinder is an incredible ministry, very tiring. I was a Pathfinder director for like a year. He gave me all of the white hairs that I have, but I loved it. Do you feel like being a young adult and leading in different ministries with the different things that you're doing, do you feel like that shaped who you are?
I definitely would say so, because being in those positions allowed me to gain certain character traits that I don't think I otherwise would have gained. For example, as I was helping plan VBS and execute it, I learned how to work with people and also how to have like a lot of patience, even for kids, and just like so many other things. But yeah.
So it basically even develops your character and skills that you're going to be able to use even when you're older, like in your actual profession and things like that.
Yes.
By the way, I forgot to ask, what do you want to do? Are you a student right now?
Yes.
So what do you want to do as a profession afterwards?
I would love to be a software engineer.
Okay.
Right now, I am a computer science and math major.
Oof.
Yes.
Yes. I actually really like that side, but I don't think I would be able to be the engineer. I like to use the technology. I'm not the person behind developing the technology, but I really admire people that can do that. So that is absolutely amazing. Can you share a specific experience that shaped the way that you do ministry today? Like something that was so impactful to you that is why you wanted to do the ministries that you're doing?
So actually, it's not a specific experience, but it's kind of like a lot of observing over time that made me be
several
like,
experiences.
Yes. So our Pathfinder director, she is an amazing woman. She works really hard and she sacrifices herself a lot for the club and for the church school in the area and a lot of different things. And so seeing how she worked really hard, it made me want to help her, right? And so once I decided to like start volunteering and helping out with the Pathfinder Club, I realized that it was actually really fun. And I could still, I love kids, so I could still talk to the kids, make jokes, play with them, laugh with them. But at the same time, I could do so in a nurturing Christian environment.
The next question was regarding mentors, but I think you pretty much already told me. But now we can go a little further. How important do you think mentors are? Like in the case of this lady that she inspired you to want to do ministry. How important are mentors for you, for young adults?
I think mentors are important, but I think we also have to be careful because I know that not everyone can make a good mentor.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
I would say that in her case, she was super, super inspiring and she really, really made an impact on my life. And yeah.
but I would say, like the way that you were explaining, the right person, the right mentor,
yes,
is crucial.
Yes, yes.
What challenges have you faced with being a young adult and being a leader in your ministry? What challenges have come across?
I'd say the biggest things have been either like not having people who are willing to help or older church members kind of looking down on you and doubting you and your abilities to, I guess, do what you feel inspired to do or feel touched to do.
Basically, sometimes they think you're too young, you're not going to really do the work, or you're not going to be responsible. And that is discouraging. How have you overcome this?
So I started off with just doing like small things. So I guess at first helping out just like wherever I could. I would sing for praise team. I also help out in the sound room quite often. And then I also would help with like the VBS that I mentioned, or sometimes even like after church, parents would just ask me to watch their kids at the playground or just little things like that. And I guess just making sure that I am the best person that I can be, I guess, and people take notice of that.
Yeah.
And over time, people just began to trust me more. And then I was able to like even lead youth group trips and things like that.
So basically, instead of being upset and, okay, they don't let me do this, I'm not going to do anything, you just kept showing up, try to do the little things, and within time, they started trusting you.
Yeah. I'd say like just I would do what I could and everything worked out, I guess.
Yes. Did that ever got you upset because of the way that they were like not wanting to give you space?
At times it was frustrating, but I think the most important thing is how you handle those kinds of situations. Yeah.
What do you think, and now I'm talking about young adults in general, what do you think are the challenges, difficulties that young adults face when they're trying to lead in the church, trying to do what you're doing?
I think they could face some similar challenges as what I faced, because a lot of I've noticed a lot of people will be like, oh, you haven't maybe been a church member for 20 years like I have, or you don't know all of like the prophecy in the Bible, or you don't know all the Old Testament like stories or things like that. But I think as long as people are doing like a good job with the light that they've been given, and they're still in line with like what Jesus wants and his character, and like they have the same goal, even though like they're getting to that point, I feel like they should still be able to help like with like,
don't get
the
discouraged. Keep going.
Yeah.
I think you already touched on that, but what do you think young adults can do to be able to get to the point that they can serve? Like, what advice would you give a young person that wants to serve but are facing these challenges?
I would say to keep the energy and just use it to like propel you forward. Don't like take those obstacles as like setbacks and stay there, but rather use those setbacks to, as what my friend always says, every setback is a setup for a step up, right?
I like that.
So just like if people say that you don't know your Bible enough, read your Bible. Try to like learn like more and gain more knowledge. And yeah.
What do you think churches and church leaders, what can we do to help get more young adults involved, or notice the ones that wants to be involved? How can we help?
I would say a really big thing is making sure that church positions that cater to young adults are always filled, because there are a lot of young adults in the church who are there but don't really have a lot of like activities or opportunities to connect and things like that, because there's no one really to organize those things. But also when there is somebody, they should make sure that they are like connecting the young adults and making like making it a point to have activities and like opportunities to connect. For example, like maybe like prayer sessions, or just like even like maybe like a picnic or like a day at the lake or things like that.
Spend time with them, like the things that you're saying, and give them opportunities. Listen to the people, maybe what they wanted to do. Very good. I like it. Grace, thank you so much for the time that you came here, the time that we spent together, getting to know you a little better. I really appreciate this time together. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Good. Thank you.